Okay, I'm finally getting around to this. Uh, Greetings, Internet. This is Cardiacs again, and this is gonna be a re-upload because I accidentally uploaded this, um, and forgot to record the audio. I essentially got so excited that I finally finished this artwork that, uh, I just immediately started converting from a project file to a video file that YouTube takes, and it just I felt kinda stupid for forgetting. Anyway, uh, I struggled quite a bit with the sketch, because um, I wasn't entirely sure what pose I wanted to put these two characters in. So I think that's one of the main reasons why this video is so long. It's a whopping 24 and something or the other minutes. So, yeah. Anyway, these characters belong to my friend and I. There is, of course, Severa, and then there is my friend's character, Mia. And in our roleplay that we were doing together, we kind of decided that they'd be a cute couple, at least for a little bit, and I got super excited, so I had to draw them as cutely as possible. So they're doing the thing. Yeah. They're I don't know if that would be considered cuddling, but they're definitely embracing each other. Anyway, I did intend to do something different this week / last week, because this video is supposed to be from last week or last week. But I couldn't make myself do it. That's essentially the gist of it. So instead, I was so gung-ho about this idea, I just kind of went on ahead with it and did it. Yep. So either this week or next week, I will do what I actually originally had planned. By the way, if you haven't noticed, this is, uh, I don't know, this may be ideologically sensitive, so for those who don't like same gender couples, you may want to stop watching, because these characters do not change genders. They are both female. Anyway, usually I draw Severa with a really, really long, thick braid, but this time I ended up drawing her hair loose, and I've been having some fun with that. I usually draw hair loose, I don't do many updos, and I should probably change that. But usually I really like drawing her with a braid. This time, though, I figured this and the vibe of the drawing wouldn't really fit. Plus, I wasn't entirely sure how to get her braid to show up, unless it was just kind of like leaning in a weird arc behind her, so just slightly poke out. I could have done that, but I thought it would be more fun to just have her extremely long locks just sneak out from behind her. And that was Mia's reference, by the way. I did have to use it because I couldn't just let, I couldn't do it from memory, and I didn't want to keep switching back and forth. I could have opened it with my phone, but I got the link for this reference from my friend who owns the character, and I didn't want to try to find it on my phone when I started working on this. So instead, it's sitting right there, watching me draw. I just noticed that the references eyes are watching the the software. Yeah, I can use words. I can remember words. I used to have a wonderful bag. I used to have a wonderful vocabulary, and I find that I've forgotten a lot of the words that I used to know. So often when I try to use one, I either can't remember it or I can't remember if it means what I think it means, so I have to look it up. I hate how bad my memory is. In any case, I did have fun drawing this. Uh, Shading it and everything, it turned out a little bit darker than I expected or that I wanted. I don't know. Also, the pose turned out a bit different as well. I did actually like the pose, and then every now and then I keep going back and looking at it because part of me wants to keep working on it and tweaking the things that I didn't really like, and the other part of me is just like, ugh, just let it be done. Let it be finished. This video doesn't need to be any longer. I did, however, realize that uh, what's the word? Accidentally omitted. I'll go with that. Uh, Mia's freckles, because she has freckles. So, what this video has that the last upload didn't is a little bit at the end where I'm adding very soft freckles. You can see it in the sketch that I do have. I did add freckles, but since I was coloring, when I was coloring, somehow the freckles got hidden. So, yeah, I had to re-add them. And I remember playing with her jacket a bit. She seemed a little bit too flat-chested. She seems extremely skinny in general, actually. Mia, I mean. Vera's just all thick and gorgeous, and Mia's just a stick. I don't know, they seem, as far as appearance goes, these two characters seem quite different, like almost polar opposites, with one of them being extremely tall and thin, but still kind of stocky. The other one being shorter and thin and darker skinned, and one being extremely pale. Yeah, anyway. Also, one has really long, long hair, and the other one has short-ish hair. And I could keep going. Like, Mia is kind of more formal in her clothing choice, and Severa obviously isn't with her tank top and ripped jeans. Yep. I like it when character designs kind of they work with the character's personality. It's a very cool thing when you can just look at a character and automatically know what they're like just by how they look. And of course, there's always that don't judge a book by its cover kind of thing, but as far as characters in stories and stuff go, the appearance really does say a lot about a person. Their clothing style and whether or not they wear makeup and what just how they wear their hair, what shoes they like to wear, like all that says a lot about you. At least that's what I think. I, for one, in real life, I tend to go for a clothing style that's very similar to Severa's. I'll wear just t-shirts and jeans that aren't ripped, but you know, they're jeans, so they're casual. And tennis shoes, sneakers, whatever they're called. Yeah, I don't really do much else. I keep telling myself that I will try to be more of a lady, but I don't really see myself as a lady, so whenever I tell myself I'm gonna start dressing up and making myself look and feel pretty, it'll happen maybe once or twice in my life, and then I'll go back to the t-shirts and the jeans, and I'll be like, why did I ever change? This is so comfy. Apparently I like comfort more than fashion. Not surprised, I've always really been like that. Whenever I was stylish, I was either trying too hard or my mom dressed me. Yeah. Usually, Severa, she used to have just straight black hair, and I'd sometimes use blue as an undertone, but that got really boring in a hurry. So I started using a red undertone, so sometimes her hair will look brown, and other times it'll look, well, in this work, it looks kind of purpley to me. So, yeah, I never go with the same color for the undertone. And that makes it kind of fun, though. Also, the Mia's hand, like her, I guess that would be her left arm. I had fun with that because originally she was going to have her arm in this really awkward position where she was reaching back and resting her elbow on Severa's knee, but that looked extremely uncomfortable, so I couldn't leave it that way. In the end, did when I drew Severa's hand on Mia's hip, I had the idea that it would be kind of cute if she were either holding it or kind of looking like she was placing Severa's hand there. I don't know. But that's it looks a lot less wonky than it did originally, so I'm kind of glad I went with that. It was like the first try was very, very weird. Yep. Um, Something I like to do when I go for coloring and everything, instead of going for a straight white, I tend to go a little bit more into a certain color, so it's not exactly white, but in contrast to the other colors, it will be perceived that way. I hope that makes sense. I don't know if it does. But in any case, it means that there's a little bit less contrast. It takes a little bit less uh, attention, and it also means that if it's dark enough, then you can add highlights to it so that there's more of a mid-tone rather than just white on white. I hope that makes sense too. Another thing is the yep, words. Another thing I need to practice is faces, making different expressions and stuff. Like, I kind of like how it looks with Mia kissing Severa's cheek. Like, how her lips are scrunched up like that, like they're puckered. Like, that surprisingly came out really well. I did not use a reference for that, and I kind of like how that turned out, so I'm proud of myself. But there are also a lot of expressions that I would need to use a reference for, so I really need to practice. I'm not always going to get lucky. So, references. Yeah, use them. They're handy. In other news, uh, um, I will be doing eventually an Art Snacks Challenge video. I've been meaning to do those for a long, long time, but I never really got around to it. I've got a somewhat decent setup for traditional art. I just have to make myself sit down and actually try it. That's always the hard part, is making myself do it and try it. Like, digital art is easy because I'm always at my computer and all I have to do is open the program. Well, I've got to like do a whole lot of setup for the traditional stuff. In any case, one day I will start doing traditional videos. In by that I mean in a sketchbook of some kind. Yeah. Shading Mia's skin, by the way, was kind of interesting because I usually 9 times, well, 99 times out of 100, at least, I will go for a lighter skin tone, and Mia's skin is a lot darker than what I'm used to, although it's by no means actually dark. Just kind of a little more than tan, I think. In any case, trying to apply what I know about lighter skin to a darker skin like Mia's was, ooh, it was a fun experience, to say the least. Kind of a battle. That's another thing I need to practice is darker skin tones. Yep, you probably saw that coming. And if you didn't, well, yeah. I do know that a lot of darker skin tones do tend to have a lot of red undertones, but I didn't really use that trick. I didn't really want her to look red. I wanted her to look more orange brown, I guess. And her hand, I don't know what happened, but Mia's hand turned out really dark. So thankfully I noticed that, and I added some more of the mid-tone, that local color, that whatever, and brightened it up a bit. Glad I noticed that. So glad I noticed that. Otherwise, it would have looked like she was wearing a glove or something. And with the nail details I add at some point, that would have looked really wonky, extremely wonky. I kind of enjoyed shading that, well, Severa's chest, where Mia is kind of casting a shadow on her. It probably should be a lot darker, but of course it didn't end up being that way because I didn't want it to be that quite harsh of a shadow. Mm. Also, I need to practice doing colors for lips without making them look like lipstick because I don't know how that works. How do you choose a color for the lips and make it look natural and not like lipstick or lip gloss or lip stain or lip whatever else the heck exists? Because I know there are a million different names for the waxy crap you put on your lips. That feels weird. I'm still not used to it. I like trying it on though. It's kind of fun. Make puckering faces out of mirror. What am I talking about? Why am I talking about this? By the way, I'm really sleepy right now. Like really, really sleepy. I haven't been able to sleep very well in the past month. So I am a little bit weird. I guess weirder than usual. I don't know. I get a little crazy sometimes when I'm tired. Um, hmm. Yeah. I will one day catch up on sleep. Maybe, hopefully. If not, then I'll just sleep when I'm dead. That'll happen eventually. I've got like 4 minutes to go and I don't know what to fill that space with. Watch the little white circle bounce around the canvas. Another thing I need to work on, I should be writing these down, but of course I'm not, is fingernails. Because I've been told that my fingernails, when I draw them, they look weird. So that's a thing. What else do I need to work on? I need to work on a lot of things. For example, non-organic things. Like growing up, I didn't think geometric shapes were fun to draw at all. That being said, I can draw them. I can draw a box. I can draw a 3D cube. I can do all that fancy crap. I just don't enjoy it. So one of these days, I need to practice, 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 and get better at that because not everything I'm gonna need to draw will be organic and curvy and wavy and glorious in the terms of shape, in my opinion. What even is my word choice? Why do I use the words I use? Anyway. Another thing I do hope to attempt is more fan art. Like not just my characters, but like famous characters because lately I've been drawing my own characters and stuff so much that it's just not fun for me anymore for the most part anyway. So I kind of want to change it up and start doing more fan art. Yeah. Among other things, I also have something I want to announce, but I won't announce because I don't want to jinx it. I'm very excited. Very, very excited. But I'm not very superstitious, but I am enough to not want to say, hey guys, guess what's gonna happen? And then it not happen. I hate that. So I'm gonna keep it to myself. But I will definitely do a video on this thing when I know for sure that it's gonna happen. And I do think that the video is winding down a bit. I do intend to do some draw this again kind of challenges because there's like one thing I noticed before that when I did it, I really liked it. But when I looked back, I didn't hate it, but I can tell that I've gotten a bit better. So I want to try again and see how much more I can like a new version of that one thing that I liked. And yeah. Also, I'm still doing the daily drawing challenge. I have been doing so since September 2016. Almost all of my drawings that I've been doing since then have been posted to Instagram. A chunk of them have also been on DeviantArt, but I find that posting to Instagram is a lot easier for me, so I tend to post there a lot more. Anyway, there's a link in the description if you want to see my Instagram, as well as my DeviantArt if that floats your boat. And I think that's it, because they're freckles. Have a nice day. Thank you for watching, especially if you stuck it out this long. Sorry for my tired rambling. Yes, subscribe and like and click links and just enjoy all the times I've said and.